Hello everyone, my name is Ming Bunkan and welcome back to another video about personal finance. Well, it's not really personal finance, it's about a bit of personal finance and investments, so you gotta prepare yourself. It may be a bit long. So for this is a video where I want to tell you about the 10 lessons that I learned while studying about personal finance, investments, and watching videos online from real millionaires, or at least people I considered millionaires. The first lesson that I've learned, it may not be applied on you, but this is definitely very obvious, is that if you buy to impress, well, you're gonna get less money. Why do you buy? Well, it's not because you want to impress your friend. You actually want to buy because you want to improve the standard of your living condition. Why would anyone buy an apartment that is taking up 50% of your income? Because they want to impress their friends and family. But does that work? No. Their family get worried that they are stretching themselves too much and their income may not be able to hang on. Their friends are not really in there because they just feel happy for you, but they don't really feel impressed. Why do you try to pay for the entire restaurant's meals when you can barely pay for your own? Because you wanted to impress your friend and they will respect you more. Actually, they don't. They're just happy because they have a free meal. Why do you buy a car that takes up almost all of your income? Because you want to impress random people on the street. But in the end, nobody really cared. They feel good for you, but they're not going to feel impressed. They don't really care what's going on. The second lesson that I've learned is that real millionaires are frugal. This is a really big hit for me because back then, when I was around 8, I thought that millionaires were just like in the TVs, where everyone is like wearing fancy clothes and having fashion designers, and they have 3 watches on their hands, and they have several rings, and they have a lot of jewelry. That is what I thought of millionaires. But after reading some books about what real millionaires are, I actually found out that they dress, they live, they eat, they buy just like normal people. They still have normal taxes, they buy an ordinary house, they buy second-use cars or used cars for at least 2 years, and they wear blue jeans at Walmart. It's still the same. In fact, these kind of millionaires are much more frugal and have a much more stable future than those who are wearing fashion designers. Now, onto my third lesson that I've learned this is quite painful for me. It's average friends leads to average life. Why? Because back then all I actually care about is having fun. Let's be honest. I really like just having fun there. I don't like to worry about the future. I don't want to worry about my future career. I don't like those. I just want to have fun and play games. But afterward, I finally realized at the age of around, I'm not sure, it's between first primary school, I'm not sure when, I finally realized that my friends are not the friends that I should be with. They're fun to talk with, but not the ones I should spend most of my time with. And that's how I split out of the group that I usually play with. All they care about is fun. I don't want... It's like I woken up from a bad dream and finally realized that I don't want to be in that part. I'm just going to care about the future, so I have a stable future, and maybe when I have a stable future, I can be carefree. So I split from that group and started finding someone to be friends with. And right now I'm thinking I'm doing fine so far. The fourth thing, I just want to make sure that you know, this is a lesson that is portrayed in almost every movie. I'm gonna make sure every movie. Do not marry for money. That does not solve anything at all. If you marry for money, that's basically just like you're taking advantage of someone. And this is also called manipulation. when you marry for money, does that actually lead to your happiness? They say that money can buy happiness, but that may not actually be true. Money cannot buy happiness. However, it is an important factor in it. For example, if you want to be able to travel around the world, well, you have to have the money to do so. If you want to be helpful in the future, well, you're gonna need money, or at least a political stand-up. You need money to live. And if you can't live, you can't be happy. Well, can't you? So basically, right now, money in marriage doesn't solve anything. If you marry for money, in the future when you have problems with your relationship or problems around you, your family's not gonna find it difficult to get through. Why? Because you didn't actually care for each other. There's actually a reason why you exchange and marry together. It doesn't matter that way. There's a lot of millionaires who have done that, however, in the end they go bankrupt. Why? Because they don't care for each other. What you need in marriage, what you need in love is not money. Money can destroy people. They can manipulate people. Don't let money affect in your marriage or love life, even social status. Now, the next 3 lessons is going to be a bit long and it may seem very obvious, is that investments are boring and long. Investments is not gonna be like in the movies or in the documentary files that you see or in the pictures. It's not gonna go up in a short period of time. It takes years, even decades for it to go up. And you have to be patient. It's gonna be very long. If you're starting when you're 20, it may be all the way to your 40s until you finally get your investment done. And also, please do not be something like you just invest in something and later you sell it, because that's not really doing anything at all, and it's not giving you profits. In fact, it may lead you to having less money. So that's my 3 most important lessons about investment. The next one is a bit more complicated, so hang on with me. Cash is king. When I first see this title, I think, oh, that's obvious. But if you delve further, cash is actually different from the money that you spend. Cash is like the foundation for a financial stable income. It's like if you want to build a building, you have to have a safe and secure foundation. Well, it's the same thing actually. Before you go investing and improving the quality of your house, you need a stable structure, a stable foundation, stable cash income first. If you don't have cash, you can't invest. And if you go bankrupt someday, who knows who's going to be responsible for that? You, of course. No one else going to do that. You may have help from families or friends, or you may be able to find a loan from another company or a bank, but it's not going to save you for long. Trust me. The second to last lesson is really complicated, but it's simple at the same time. People say that you're supposed to be saving your money, not spending it. However, all in all, you can relax that rule for some time. Why do you want to spend money? Why do you even want to get money in the first place? You want to get money to be able to spend it on the things you want. So please don't buy unnecessary stuff just because it's on sale, because it's not going to do anything. It's just wasting your time and energy. If you want a book, well, don't waste it on doing other things. This is something I encountered a lot. Back then, I used to think that saving is king. So I save a lot and I never actually spend it. When I was finally achieved the goal of 100 Vietnam dong, that was a really big achievement for me back then because I really like spending. I decided to go further, but then my friends started saying that this book is really great, you should read it. And I have the money to buy it, but I'm afraid of spending it. Why? Because I work really hard for that money, but now I'm spending it. And everyone have been telling me that saving is king, so why should I do it? In the end, I lost that enormous and very important book that I found out later. just because I'm too afraid of saving or spending. Well, if you keep saving money and you never actually spend it on anything or just use it on an investment, that's not going to help you anywhere. It's basically like when you have when you're in a cage and you have the key but you're afraid of going outside. Well, that's the same thing. And the final lesson I've learned for today is that money buys freedom. This may sound a bit trivial and it sounds pretty weird because a lot of you have learned that money does not buy everything. However, it does somewhat buy freedom. If you want to go around the world, if you have money, you're able to do so. You're not bounded by your debts, you're not bounded by your income or anything. Well, except the law if you think about it. But from anything else, you're perfectly free to do whatever you do, except when it doesn't violate the country law. So, basically that's the 10 lessons I want to share with you. Buy to impress, less money. Second lesson, real millionaires does not spend so much. Average friends, average life. If you marriage for money, well, that's not going to work out. And 3 most important things, investments are boring, they're simple, but they're long. That is all. Thank you for listening to me.